Bunny Shaw, goal scorer.
Yeah.
I've heard on the grapevine that you have set goal scoring targets and assist targets.
I try to focus on myself, and I try to do better than I was yesterday. So for me, when I look back on the season last year, I scored a lot of goals, but when I look at the opportunities that I had, I could have scored even more goals. So I think I always look back on my videos and I always see where I can improve and get better. And I think, yeah, I just want to do better than I can that I was last season.
You set a pretty high precedent last season with the amount of goals that you scored, but how about assisting? Is that something that you include in your targets as well, or is it all about scoring goals?
Yeah, sometimes I get on the girls because I don't get the opportunity to assist very often. So when I give you, please score. But yeah, I think I try to be involved in as much as I can in terms of my link-up play and stuff. But ultimately, my position is more dominant to score goals. But of course, you know, you want to get them assists and you want to help the team as much as possible.
Absolutely. When you signed for Manchester City, Ellen White was at the club, and what did you learn from Ellen when you moved to Manchester City?
You know what? I think I got on well with Ellen. Obviously, we're two different personalities type strikers, but I think we helped each other where she helped me to settle in more quickly than I thought I would have been. But yeah, I think with Ellen, it's just about, you know, being alive always. Whenever you're in and around the box, always look out for them unexpected balls because it's not going to be perfect every time. So she would always like encourage me and tell me like, when you're in the box, just be alive and be ready. And I think that's something that I've definitely took from her.
And then somebody you're working with at the moment is Sean Goa, who's obviously a Manchester City legend in himself. How does that relationship work with him on the grass, on the training pitch, and can you see that transferring into your performances on a match day?
You know what, my first year, I would see him walk around the complex and he would always like, Bonnie, I need to speak to you, but we never had the conversation. We always passed by each other, hey, how are you? We need to speak, and it never happened. So I think off the back of last season, when I heard that he was gonna come in, we joke around saying, finally we're here. But yeah, I think he's great. He encourages me a lot. He's a bit hard on me as well. You know, some of the chances where you would say you done well to actually get the touch, but he looks at it and he'll say, if you put yourself in this position, maybe you could have maybe gotten the ball more early or made this pass or made this run. So I think just working with him all around, he's a really good guy and he's so funny.
Talking about working with Sean on your positional play, what is your favourite position?
I think a lot of people see me as a striker that, you know, is just always in the box. But for me, I like to be involved in the play. I like to drop deep because I think sometimes when I drop deep, defenders come with me, which gives space in behind for the 8 and 10 or the wingers. So I think my overall presence is, yes, I can post up and receive the ball and turn, but I think link-up play and stuff like that is something that I actually also enjoy as well as being in the box, so yeah.
Because it seems like you have to stay away for a lot of the play, and then when the ball comes into the box, that's your moment, which you do very well, by the way.
Yeah.
And coming off the back of a hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur a couple of weeks ago, you were deadly in that game.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's something that the gaffer always talks about, creating the space for our 8 and 10, because he thinks that whenever they receive the ball in the pockets and turn, that's when the opportunity comes where we can, you know, face up and run at the defenders. And I think the wingers and strikers, he always wants us to take the defenders away, so that gives space to the 8 and 10. Of course, sometimes you're tempted to drop down deep, but you know he's on the side ready to say, no, stay away. So I think, of course, that's a part of it. But then again, you know, when the ball gets to our wingers, you know, we're very talented. It's just about me being in the right position.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving away from off the pitch now, how do you like Manchester?
I remember I spoke with my uncle and he was excited for me when he found out that I was coming to Manchester, and he always tells me about the weather, but I was like, can't be that bad, I'll be okay. But then when I came into Manchester and I realized that, oh, it rains every day, it looks miserable every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love cultures, and that's why I travel so much, because I enjoy it, and I think Manchester is just another experience for me for sure.
So you have family in Manchester?
Yeah, so I have 4 uncles. When I found out that I was official officially coming to Manchester, I remember I called my uncle and I was like, hey uncle, I'm coming to Manchester. And he's like, hey, coming to visit. I was like, no, I'm actually like coming to play in Manchester, but I didn't say Manchester City or Manchester
Okay, you left
United
him
because I
hanging.
didn't know.
You left him
So
hanging.
I was there sweating like, oh my God, what if he supports United? What if they support United? So they're like, go on, which side are you on? And I was like, City. And he's like, get it!
Oh.
Yeah, he was so excited. And then I found out that all my uncles support Manchester City. So yeah, it was
You can relax.
yeah, a bit off my chest. But yeah, I think, you know, it's good when, you know, you travel across the world and you have family there support you every day. So yeah.
Absolutely. So back onto the pitch now. Your celebration in the Manchester derby with Chloe Kelly. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans wanting to know what that was about. So can you talk us through it?
You know, I went to the PFA Awards and Davido was there, obviously. He performed. And I remember I was sitting between Alex and Yui. And they came on and they were performing Unavailable. And I'm like, I'm touching Alex like, I'm feeling this, like, I'm feeling this dance. And she was like, you got it. And then I was trying, but it wasn't working. So I was like, okay, I think I need more practice. And so I came back and they would play the song, but I would go in the bathroom and I would like practice to see if I get it because I didn't want to come out and be embarrassed. So I remember I was like, because whenever there's a new song or there's a new dance, Chloe's like the first person and I would say, Chloe, how do I look? Check me out, you know? And she was like, okay, you got it. And then she was like, you know what would be cool? Like, if either one of us score, we could do it at the game. And I was like, okay. And then I scored, but I completely forgot because I was just so in the moment. And then I saw Chloe touch me and she just started doing it. And then we just started doing it. And then, you know, I think it went viral and a lot of people reached out. Davido, I think, reposted it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the backstory behind that.
Okay, cool. And you seem to have a really good relationship with Chloe Kelly.
Yeah, you know, I always say I think she's 40% Jamaican, but she laughs because, you know, the
she
food.
can move, can't she?
Yeah, the food, the vibe, the music and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, I have a very good relationship with Chloe.
But on the pitch, she assists you quite often, doesn't she?
Yeah, you know, my first year, she was in and out because of the injury in her ACL. So I wasn't really familiar with her, but last year when she came in and, you know, we hit the ground running, training every day along with Lauren Hemp. Of course, I played more with Lauren the first year, so I knew her more than Chloe. So I think when Chloe came in, I just spent more time with her after training just to get familiar with her playing style, her movement, where she would put the ball, where I would be. So I think after practicing, you know, we try to perform it on the pitch and it's working.
It definitely works, I can say that. The team spirit across the team seems like it's a wonderful team to be a part of.
Yeah, you know what I'd say? I think this is probably the best group that I've been in. Everyone is opening to learn. For example, Yui was opening to come in to try my type of food, which is very different.
Yeah, very different
from Japanese food. And, you know, she enjoyed it and like I tried to understand her and stuff like that. So I think the entire group were opening to learning the different cultures and stuff like that. And I think it's very important within a squad that, you know, you understand the players that you have around you, not just on the field, but off the field. What are they like? You know, what they normally do. For example, I'm not one to party, so the girls know that when it's party time, I'm not really in. So, you know, it's just like that overall environment, and I think it's very healthy and very competitive.
Oh, it's great. What are your goals for the season as a team and individually as well?
I think goals for the season to try to achieve as much as we can. Obviously, winning the league, we've definitely fall short in the past couple of seasons, but, you know, we've, off the back of getting big results, we know that, you know, we're up there with, you know, the best, and I think it's just about being consistent because in this league, it's to find margins, you know. Losing the 1 point, you can lose the league by, you know, 1 point. So I think the Cup's obviously qualifying for Champions League. We fall short on that last year, so I think coming into this season, that's something we definitely want to do. And I think for me, it's just to keep my consistency, keep working hard, keep helping the team, and hopefully, you know, I'll arrive at the end of the season, you know, feeling positive about myself.